Commander Hyansik stood before the massive holographic display in the war room of the Galactic Council station. The blue light cast strange shadows on his alien features as he studied the data streams flowing. Across the screen, for the past 3 months, he had been reviewing intelligence reports about a small blue-green planet in a distant spiral arm of the galaxy. "This makes no sense," he muttered. Scrolling through another set of readings, the planet Cold Earth showed abundant water, rich mineral deposits, and a breathable atmosphere. Any military commander in the galaxy would consider it a perfect target for conquest. Yet it remained completely untouched. Captain Dongwu approached from behind, carrying a data pad filled with more confusing information. "Sir, I have reviewed every scan we have of that system. The humans show no defensive capabilities whatsoever. No orbital weapons platforms. No shield generators. No fleet patrols. Nothing." Hyansik turned to face his officer. "And yet no one has attacked them in over 200 years of galactic expansion. Why?" The captain shrugged his shoulders. "Perhaps they are too primitive to be worth the effort. Our scouts report they still fight each other with chemical explosives and metal projectiles. Primitive civilizations are usually the easiest to conquer," Hyansik replied. "Rich resources, weak defenses, no allies. Every pirate clan and conquest fleet in the galaxy should be fighting over that world." Lieutenant Ji-min looked up from her communications station across the room. "Sir, I am receiving more transmissions from the human planet. They are broadcasting music, stories, and news about their local wars. They seem to have no idea that other intelligent life exists. Perfect victims," observed Engineer Kyung-ho as he joined the conversation, isolated, unaware, and defenseless. "So why has no one claimed them?" The question had been bothering the Galactic Council for decades. Earth represented everything that conquest fleets looked for in a target world. Yet it remained mysteriously safe. Some council members suspected the humans had hidden weapons or secret allies, but deep scans revealed nothing unusual. Ambassador Velter of the Council High Command entered the war room, his long robes trailing behind him. "Commander Hyansik, have you reached any conclusions about the human anomaly?" "No, sir. Every analysis suggests they should have been conquered long ago. Yet something is protecting them. We just cannot determine what that something might be." The ambassador moved closer to the holographic display, studying the peaceful blue world rotating slowly in the projection. "Our historians have searched through ancient records. There are vague references to that region of space in very old texts. Something about silent watchers and ancient guardians. But most scholars dismiss these as myths and legends." Captain Dongwu frowned. "What kind of legends?" "Stories about powerful beings who once ruled the galaxy millions of years ago. They supposedly disappeared before any of our civilizations developed space travel. The tales claim they still watch over certain worlds, protecting species they find interesting." "Fairy tales," scoffed Engineer Kyung-ho. "If such beings existed, we would have detected them by now." Lieutenant Ji-min interrupted their discussion. "Sirs, I am detecting something unusual. 3 separate pirate fleets were approaching the human system over the past month. According to our tracking data, they all changed course at the outer edge of the system and departed without explanation." "Did they encounter resistance?" asked Hyansik. "No, sir. No battles. No weapons fire. No distress calls. They simply turned, ran and left." When questioned later, the pirate captains claimed they decided the target was not worth their time. The ambassador raised an eyebrow. 3 different pirate groups reached the same conclusion independently. Pirates who normally fight over scraps of metal. It gets stranger. "Sir, Admiral Kangmin of the Hegemony Fleet was planning a conquest mission to that system last year. His entire armada was assembled and ready to depart. Then suddenly, the mission was cancelled. When asked why, the Admiral said he could not remember deciding to attack that world in the first place. A chill ran through the room. Memory alteration was an extremely advanced technology, far beyond what most civilizations possessed. There is something else. Continue, G-Men. I have been monitoring communications from various military commands across the galaxy. Whenever someone proposes an attack on the human world, they seem to lose interest within a few days. They find reasons to target other worlds instead. Heinzig studied the data with growing concern. It sounds like something is actively discouraging attacks on Earth. But what could have that kind of influence across multiple species and governments? Ambassador Velter moved away from the display, deep in thought. Perhaps those old legends contain more truth than we realized. If ancient guardians really do exist, and if they have chosen to protect the humans, then we need to know why, finished Heinzig. A defenseless world that remains unconquered is not natural. There must be a reason, and we need to discover what it is. The commander made his decision. Prepare my fleet. We are going to Earth to solve this mystery once and for all. As the crew began preparations for departure, none of them noticed the subtle energy readings that had begun appearing on their long-range sensors. Something vast and ancient was already watching them, waiting to see what they would do next. The Zirian fleet moved through space like a pack of metal wolves hunting their prey. Commander Heinzig watched the stars shift on his view screen as they approached the human solar system. His ships had traveled for weeks to reach this mysterious world that seemed to defy all logic about galactic conquest. "Sir, we are now entering the outer edge of the system," reported Navigator Taiho from his station, beginning detailed scans of all planets and moons. Senior analyst So Young bent over her console, studying the readings that flowed across her screens. "Commander, I am detecting the asteroid belt the reports mentioned. Lots of rocky debris, but nothing that would stop an invasion fleet." Captain Dongwu stood beside the main tactical display, watching as their sensors map the entire system. The third planet from the star matches all our intelligence data. Perfect atmosphere, abundant water, no visible defenses. It should be an easy target. Too easy, muttered Heinzig. Something felt wrong about this whole situation. But he could not identify what bothered him. Lieutenant G-Min looked up from her communication station with excitement. "Sir, I am receiving multiple transmissions from the human planet. They are broadcasting everything openly, with no encryption or security protocols." "What kind of transmissions?" asked the commander. "Entertainment signals mostly. Music, stories, moving pictures they call movies. Also news reports about their local conflicts and politics. They seem completely unaware that anyone might be listening." Engineer Kyung-ho laughed. "They broadcast their private communications to the entire galaxy. How have they survived this long?" "That is exactly what we came here to find out," replied Heinzig. "Continue monitoring their signals. I want to understand these humans before we make contact." As the fleet moved deeper into the system, So Young noticed something strange on her sensors. "Commander, I am detecting unusual energy readings throughout the system. They do not match any known technology in our databases." "What kind of energy readings?" "Very powerful. But the signatures are unlike anything I have seen before. They appear to be coming from artificial structures. But I cannot get clear readings on their size or location." Captain Dongwu moved to her station to examine the data. Could they be human defensive installations? Hidden weapons platforms? No, sir. The energy patterns are too advanced for human technology, according to our intelligence. They barely have chemical rockets and primitive nuclear weapons. Navigator Taiho called out from his position. Sir, I am detecting multiple contacts moving through the system. They appear to be ships, but they are not responding to our scanner sweeps. How many ships? Asked Heinzig. At least 20, possibly more. They are maintaining formation around the human planet. But they seem to be avoiding our direct scans. The commander felt his anxiety growing. Are they human vessels? No, sir. The energy signatures are similar to the mysterious readings So Young detected. These ships are using technology far beyond human capabilities. Lieutenant Jimin interrupted their discussion. Sirs, I am trying to establish communication with the unknown vessels. But they are not responding to any of our standard protocols. Keep trying. Ordered Heinzig. I want to know who they are and what they want. As the hours passed, the situation became more puzzling. The mysterious ships seemed to be everywhere in the system, but they made no aggressive moves. They simply watched and waited, like silent guardians protecting their territory. Sir, reported Taiho, the unknown vessels have been matching our course and speed since we entered. The system, they are definitely following us, or hurting us, wondered Captain Dong-Wu. Engineer Kyung-ho studied his instruments with growing concern. Commander, I am detecting massive power build-ups from several of the unknown ships, whatever weapons they carry. They have enough energy to destroy our entire fleet. But they have not targeted us or made any threatening moves, observed So Young. They seem to be waiting for something. Heinzig made a decision. Send a message on all frequencies. Tell them we come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic contact with whoever controls this system. Jimin worked at her console for several minutes, then shook her head. No response, sir. They are definitely receiving our transmissions, but they choose not to answer. Perhaps they do not understand our language, suggested Taiho. Our translation system should handle any known galactic language, replied Jimin. But these beings might use communication methods we have never encountered. The fleet continued its approach toward Earth, with the mysterious ships maintaining their silent escort. The humans on the planet below continued their daily activities, completely unaware that two different groups of aliens were having a tense standoff in the space above their heads. Sir, call out So Young. I am detecting energy spikes from the lead unknown vessel. Something is happening. Suddenly, every screen in the command center flickered, and then displayed the same message in perfect galactic standard language. Welcome, travelers. We have been expecting you. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Someone with incredibly advanced technology had been watching them, waiting for their arrival. We are the progenitors, the message continued, and we need to talk. Commander Heinzig realized that their simple reconnaissance mission had just become much more complicated. The mystery of Earth's protection was about to be revealed, and he suspected the truth would change everything they thought they knew about the galaxy. The message did not come through the normal communication channels. Instead, it appeared directly inside the minds of every crew member aboard Commander Heinzig's flagship. The voice was calm and ancient, speaking words that somehow bypassed their ears and formed thoughts in their heads. Do not be alarmed by this method of contact. We find it more efficient than your electronic systems. Engineer Kyung-ho stumbled backward from his console, his face pale with shock. Commander, all our weapon systems just went offline. Not damaged or destroyed. Just turned off. I cannot get them to respond. Captain Dong-Wu checked his tactical displays and confirmed the report, sir. Our shields are also down. Every defensive system on the ship has been deactivated. We mean you no harm. The voice continued in their minds. We simply prefer that conversations remain peaceful. Your weapons will return to normal function when you leave our territory. Commander Hyansik tried to maintain his composure despite the fear growing in his chest. Who are you? What do you want? We are the progenitors. We have existed in this galaxy since before your species developed space travel. Most of your civilizations have forgotten us, which suits our purposes well. Lieutenant Jimin looked up from her communications station with wide eyes. Sir, I am still receiving normal transmissions from the human planet. They are broadcasting a sports competition called football. They have no idea we are here. The humans need not know of your presence, the voice explained. They are not ready for contact with galactic civilization. We ensure they remain safe, while they develop according to their natural path. Senior analyst So Young studied her sensor readings with amazement. Commander, the energy signatures from the unknown ships are increasing. The power levels are beyond anything in our databases. Through the view screen, the crew watched as the largest of the mysterious vessels moved closer to their position. The ship was enormous, easily 10 times the size of their flagship. Its hull seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, changing shape as they watched. Your sensors cannot properly measure our technology, the progenitor voice explained. We have moved beyond the physical limitations that constrain your civilizations. Navigator Taiho checked his instruments and made a disturbing discovery. Sir, according to our navigation systems, we are no longer moving through normal space. We seem to be in some kind of pocket dimension. We have brought you into a neutral area where we can speak without disturbing the humans below. The voice confirmed. They continue their daily activities while we discuss important matters. Captain Dongwu found his courage and spoke aloud. Why do you protect the humans? What makes them special compared to other species in the galaxy? An excellent question. Please observe. The main view screen changed to show scenes from Earth's surface. The crew saw humans working in fields, building cities, creating art, and caring for their families. The images were peaceful and ordinary, showing nothing that seemed particularly remarkable. They appear to be a typical developing civilization, observed engineer Kyung Ho. Nothing unusual about their technology or social structure. Look deeper, urged the progenitor voice. Observe their history. The screen showed scenes from humanity's past. Wars, disasters, plagues, and suffering filled the display. The crew watched as humans faced terrible challenges that would have destroyed weaker species. Every setback makes them stronger. The voice explained. When faced with impossible odds, they do not surrender. They adapt. They learn. They overcome. So Young studied the historical images with growing interest. They have survived multiple extinction-level events, ice ages, asteroid impacts, global wars, deadly diseases. Any one of these disasters should have ended their civilization. Yet they endured each trial and emerged more resilient than before. The progenitor confirmed. This is extremely rare in galactic history. Most species either avoid hardship through technology, or they perish when faced with serious challenges. The view screen showed more recent human achievements, scientific discoveries, artistic masterpieces, acts of heroism and compassion during times of crisis. They possess something precious that your advanced civilizations have lost, the voice continued. True adaptability. When others see impossible problems, humans find creative solutions. When others despair, humans choose hope. Lieutenant Jimin watched the images with fascination. But they are so primitive. They have not even developed faster-than-light travel. Physical technology is only one path to advancement. Humans advance through will, creativity, and emotional strength. These qualities will serve them well when they are ready to join the galactic community. Commander Hyansik began to understand the situation. You are preparing them for something. What do you expect them to become? What this galaxy desperately needs. Your civilizations have grown comfortable and predictable. You rely on established technologies and traditional solutions. When faced with truly new challenges, most species struggle to adapt. The screen showed records of various galactic civilizations that had collapsed when confronted with unexpected threats. Humans will not have this weakness. They have been tested by adversity for thousands of years. When they finally reach the stars, they will bring something unique to galactic civilization: the ability to thrive in chaos and find opportunity in disaster. Captain Dongwu realized the implications. You are using them as an insurance policy for the galaxy. We prefer to think of them as hope for the future. Come aboard our vessel, Commander. There is much more you need to understand about why no one dares attack Defenseless Earth. Commander Heinzig found himself standing in a corridor that defied everything he understood about physics and engineering. The walls seemed to breathe like living tissue, pulsing with soft blue light that moved in patterns too complex for his mind to follow. The floor beneath his feet felt solid, yet it seemed to adjust to each step, providing perfect comfort and support. Captain Dongwu walked beside him, his eyes wide with amazement. Sir, this ship appears to be alive. The walls are responding to our presence. Not alive in the way you understand life, keen the voice in their minds, but our technology has evolved beyond the distinction between living and artificial systems. They followed a path that seemed to change direction without them noticing, leading them through chambers filled with impossible geometries. Engineer Kyun-ho tried to measure the ship's interior dimensions, but gave up when his instruments showed readings that made no mathematical sense. Welcome to the Eternal Vigil, the progenitor voice announced as they entered a vast central chamber. I am Keeper Velthara, guardian of this sector. The being that greeted them was unlike anything in their experience, tall and graceful. It seemed to be made of pure energy contained within a vaguely humanoid form. Its features shifted constantly, sometimes appearing solid, sometimes translucent, as if it existed in multiple dimensions at once. You wanted to understand why we protect the humans, Velthara said, gesturing toward a viewing portal that materialized in the chamber wall. Observe their true nature. The portal showed Earth in perfect detail, but not as their senses had detected it. This view revealed layers of information invisible to normal technology. Energy patterns flowed around the planet like rivers of light, and the humans themselves glowed with soft auras that pulsed with their emotions and thoughts. What are we seeing? Asked Lieutenant Ji-min, who had accompanied the landing party. The reality beneath surface appearances, Velthar explained. Your species, like most in the galaxy, perceive only the physical layer of existence. We see the deeper patterns that determine how consciousness evolves. The view shifted to show other worlds throughout the galaxy. Some civilizations appeared as dull, static patterns with little movement or change. Others burned brightly but in rigid and changing formations. Most intelligent species follow predictable paths of development. The progenitor continued. They discover fire, develop tools, create cities, and eventually reach the stars, but they do so by avoiding risk and eliminating uncertainty from their lives. Senior analyst So Young studied the patterns with fascination. The humans appear different. Their energy flows are chaotic, constantly changing. Exactly. Humans embrace uncertainty. They thrive on challenges that would paralyze other species. Watch. The portal showed scenes from human history. But now the crew could see the energy patterns behind the events. During wars, disasters, and crises, the human auras burned brighter and more complex. Each challenge forced them to develop new ways of thinking and problem-solving. Other species in your galaxy have evolved through technological augmentation, Velthar explained. They enhance their bodies with cybernetic implants, modify their genetics, or merge their consciousness into collective minds. These methods produce powerful civilizations. But they also limit potential for growth. The display showed examples of various galactic species who had reached technological peaks but then stagnated, unable to advance further. Humans evolved through adversity. Every generation faces new problems and must develop creative solutions. This process has made them incredibly adaptable, but it has also given them something more valuable. What is that? Asked Captain Dongwu. The ability to transcend their limitations through pure will. Watch carefully. The portal showed human individuals performing seemingly impossible feats. Mothers lifting vehicles to save trapped children. Athletes breaking records thought to be absolute limits. Scientists making breakthrough discoveries by refusing to accept conventional wisdom. They call it determination, courage, or inspiration. Velthara said, "We call it conscious evolution, the ability to exceed physical and mental boundaries through force of will alone." Engineer Kyung-ho shook his head in disbelief. But they are still primitive. They fight wars over resources and territory. They pollute their own planet. They seem to make the same mistakes repeatedly. Growing pains, the progenitor replied. Their emotional intensity, which creates their adaptability, also produces their conflicts. But observe how they learn from each mistake, the display showed. Human society is gradually becoming more cooperative and peaceful over time. Despite setbacks and reversals, they are not perfect, but they are perfectible. Each generation improves upon the last, not through genetic modification or technological enhancement, but through conscious choice to become better. Commander Hyansik began to understand the scope of what he was witnessing. You are cultivating them like a garden, protecting them until they are ready to bloom. We are preserving something precious that may be the galaxy's only hope for a long-term survival. Your advanced civilizations have become dependent on their technologies. When faced with problems that cannot be solved by existing methods, they often fail. The portal showed records of galactic civilizations that had collapsed when confronted with unexpected challenges, plagues that ignored medical technology, energy beings that disrupted electronic systems, cosmic phenomena that rendered their science useless. Humans will not have this weakness. They have spent millennia learning to adapt, improvise, and overcome. When they finally join galactic civilization, they will bring the one thing we all need most, which is the ability to evolve beyond our current limitations and face an uncertain future with confidence rather than fear. Commander Hyansik returned to his flagship with his mind reeling from everything he had witnessed aboard the progenitor vessel. The experience felt like a dream, but the knowledge now burning in his consciousness was undeniably real. His crew gathered round him in the command center, their faces filled with questions and confusion. "Sir, what did you learn?" asked Captain Dongwu, studying his commander's troubled expression. "Earth is not defenseless," Hyansik replied slowly. "It is the most protected world in the galaxy, and we need to warn everyone to stay away." Lieutenant Jimin looked up from her communications station with urgency. "Commander, we are receiving priority transmissions from across this sector of space. Multiple fleets report similar encounters with unknown vessels near human territory." "What kind of encounters?" "Admiral Kangmin of the Hegemony's Third Fleet sent a distress signal 3 hours ago. His entire armada was approaching the human system when they suddenly found themselves on the opposite side of THE Galaxy. The Admiral claims he has no memory of how they got there." Engineer Kyung-ho checked the navigation data with disbelief. "Sir, that would require moving 60,000 light-years in an instant. No known technology can accomplish such a feat." "The progenitors can," Hyansik said quietly. "They exist beyond our understanding of physics and space-time. Senior analyst So Young pulled up reports from her intelligence network. Commander, I am receiving similar accounts from 17 different military commands, conquest fleets, pirate gangs, and resource extraction companies all report the same phenomenon. They approach Earth, then find themselves somewhere else with gaps in their memories. Are they being attacked? Are there casualties? No, sir. Everyone reports being completely unharmed. Their ships are undamaged. Their crews are healthy, and their equipment functions normally. They simply relocate. Captain Donwu studied. The tactical implications. It sounds like the progenitors are giving warnings rather than making threats. They could destroy these fleets, but instead they just move them away. Navigator Taiho called out from his station. Sir, we are receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council Emergency Network. Priority 1 classification. Put it through. The holographic display showed Ambassador Velta, but his usual composed demeanor had been replaced by obvious anxiety. Commander Heinzig, report your status immediately. We are receiving disturbing reports from across the galaxy about a new threat near the human homeworld. Sir, there is no threat. There is a protection system unlike anything we have ever encountered. The humans are under the care of beings called the progenitors. Progenitors, the mythical ancient race. Commander, you are talking about legends and fairy tales. With respect, sir, I have spoken with them directly. They have technology that makes our most advanced systems look like primitive tools. They have been watching over Earth for thousands of years. The ambassador's image flickered as the transmission was interrupted by another incoming signal. When it stabilized, his expression had changed to one of shock. Commander, I just received confirmation from Admiral Minjing of the Outer Rim Fleet. Her task force was conducting routine patrols when they detected massive energy signatures throughout the human system. When they investigated, they encountered vessels that match your description. Lieutenant Jimin added more information as it arrived. Sir, I am monitoring military communications across 12 different species. Everyone is reporting the same phenomenon. Approach Earth. Encounter the unknown guardians. Then find yourself somewhere else. What are these progenitors demanding? Asked the ambassador. Nothing, replied Heinzig. They simply want everyone to leave the humans alone. No conquest, no interference. No contact until the humans are ready to join galactic civilization on their own terms. Engineer Kyung-ho reviewed the technical data they had gathered. Sir, the energy readings we detected suggest the progenitors could easily destroy any fleet in the galaxy. But they choose not to use violence. They prefer subtle methods that avoid casualties. How long have they been protecting Earth? According to their records, since before any of our civilizations developed space travel, possibly millions of years, the implications began to sink in across the command center. If the progenitors had been operating in secret for so long, they had observed the rise and fall of countless galactic civilizations. Ambassador Velta processed this information with growing concern. Commander, what happens if someone ignores their warnings and attacks Earth anyway? I do not recommend testing their patience, sir. They demonstrated the ability to disable our weapon systems without damaging them, if they chose. To be less gentle, I suspect no force in the galaxy could stop them. Within hours, word began spreading through every corner of galactic civilization. Earth was untouchable. The humans continued their daily lives, completely unaware that their planet had become the most feared location in known space. Pirate captains cancel raids. Conquest fleets changed their targets. And resource companies marked the Sol system as permanently off-limits. The mere mention of approaching Earth caused military commanders to reassign their forces elsewhere. On Earth's surface, humans watched their evening news broadcasts. played with their children and worried about their local problems. They had no idea that ancient guardians watched over them from the shadows, ensuring their safety while they prepared for a destiny among the stars. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes the most defenseless-looking prey is protected by predators too powerful to challenge.